to you from the Emerald Isle. Are you ready to? Greetings to you all from the Emerald Isle. And no, even though it's very green and covered with beautiful places, it is not Marsh Island for you local people. I come from the home of the shamrock and the chalet. What is a chalet anyway? That's right, it is a stick. And of course, the ancestral home of the Shea clan. So I, St. Patrick, bring greetings to you and good tidings from the old mother country to all of the Sheas and to all of the guests. And what else about Ireland? Many good things come from Ireland. We have beer, we have leprechauns, we have Irish whiskey. We have many good things. We also are the land of no snakes. As I once banned all the snakes from Ireland, I proclaim that on the date of January 27th, January 27th, just up this bayou from here, at the home of the Shea clan, where the wedding reception of the Shea Hannah wedding will be, that I proclaim that there will be no snakes, there will be no rain, and there should be no political discussions here. And you know, us Irishmen, we're all good for some things like humor and toasts. So before I go, I'm going to give you a little bit of that as well. So a drunk staggers into a Catholic church. He finds his way into the confessional, don't you know? He goes and he sits down. And eventually the priest starts going, trying to get his attention. No response at all. Eventually he starts pounding on the walls of the confessional. And the drunk comes around and he says, "Hey, there's no use in pounding on the walls. There's no toilet paper over here either." So then, of course, John O'Reilly, he was the member of the Toastmasters Club down in Dublin. And he went to the Toastmasters Club to play part of the contest they were having at the pub. So he finally gets his turn, and his toast was this. He says, "To all of the great many years with my wife, of the great many years of my life spent between the legs of my wife." Well, he ended up winning the contest. So he goes home, and he gets home and he talks to his wife, and his wife says, "Well, how did things go down at the pub?" He says, "Well, I won the toast contest." She said, "Well, what was your toast?" He said, "To celebrate all the many good years with my wife, to celebrate all the many good years of my life in church with my wife." In church with my wife. And she says, "Well, John, it's so nice of you to have included me in your toast." And he says, "Of course, of course." So the next morning, Mrs. O'Reilly is down. She sees O'Malley, the policeman. And he says, "O'Reilly." She says, "Yes." She says, "I was at the pub last night. Your husband gave quite a toast." She says, "Yes, he did. He told me about the toast. But you know, he left out some of the really important facts." "Oh," he says, "what's that?" He says, "You know, he's only been there twice. The first time he fell asleep, and the second time I had to grab him by the ears to make him come." Yeah, that's right. So then one fine Irish day, this guy is out golfing, and he pulls up. He's on the 16th hole. Boy, he leans into that ball and he hits the ball with everything he's got. But the ball curves off. I don't know if that's a hook or a slice, but it did. Went off into the rough on the side. We went to go find the ball, and there he was out in the woods looking for it. And there's a little fella laying there by a log, great big lump on his head, and the ball laying there right next door to him. And so he says, "Oh my God, what have I done?" So he starts trying to help the little fella out. So as he's helping the little fella out, he comes to and he says, well, he says, mister, you caught me fair and square. He says, I'm a leprechaun. He says, I'm going to grant you 3 wishes. He says, you can't give me anything. And he just says, are you going to be okay? He says, yeah, I'm going to be all right. But he says, I'm going to grant you 3 wishes. He says, no, you can't give me anything at all. And he gets up and he walks off. So the leprechaun says, you know, that's a nice fella, and I got to grant him 3 wishes. I'm just going to give him 3 things that I would like myself. He said, I think I'd like to have a lot of money. Let's see. A lot of money, a great golf game, and a great sex life. So about a year later, on the 16th hole, oh, all right. A year later on the 16th hole, there he is. The golfer shows up. Boy, he swings into that ball. Sure enough, he slices it off into the woods again. He goes and he finds the ball, and sure enough, there's that little leprechaun. He says, I think I remember you. He says, yeah, I remember you too. He says, well, tell me something. He says, how's your golf game going? He says, man, my golf game is great. He says, I shoot under par every time I play. He says, well, how about money? You got money? He says, you know, it's a funny thing. Every time I reach into my pocket, I pull out a $100 bill. He says, I'm flush with money all the time. He says, how's your sex life? He says, nah, maybe once or twice every other week. He says, once or twice every other week? What's wrong? He says, well, it's not bad for a Catholic priest in a small parish. Okay, so for a few toasts, we have a few things. So where is Emily and Sam? They're already.